All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. I actually added Jacob to the link group, so he'll just start getting the link, so he don't have to wait anymore. But,
Yeah.
so I hope everybody had a great weekend, man. Somebody says it feels like it's 9 p.m. It does feel like it. Yeah, time just. I'm not a big fan of changing time.
It is 9 p.m. here. Well,
So it should only be 8, but
right.
yeah, it takes it. I mean, I don't. I like the fact that it's going to be lighter longer because the going dark going early is it's not the greatest. But yeah.
I
So
tend to take advantage of the late night where it stays daylight much longer because I'm a night owl anyway. So if I can cool once it starts being hot in the summer days, yeah.
yeah, for me, someone who has always stayed up later as well, I get a lot more done well into the evening because you take advantage of that time. Uh,
Nobody
Steve,
bothering you.
doing great, Steve. Is straight. How about yourself, my man? Um, yeah. So one of the things I've talked about a lot is yeah, we talked last week about the importance of writing down your goals and each one of your goals has to have steps so you should be developing processes, because you're not just going to write it down and look at it and accidentally trip over, oh, I made it to my goal. So one of the steps to one of my goals was accomplished this weekend. um, I have a goal of going to 5 of the long yard sales this year. I set the same goal last year, made only 3, and so did a little more planning. So I did the Peaches to Beaches this week, which is, if you're not familiar with that, it starts uh, just on the west side of Perry, Georgia, on Highway 341, and runs all the way to Brunswick, Georgia, on that same highway, about 225 miles. It's a didn't I didn't realize it's a 4-lane highway for the most part. So that made it very interesting. It kind of made it different than most of them because if you've done the 127, it's 2-lane most of the way. So um, that lends itself to having more side of the road yard sales and that kind of stuff. But there were big swaths of road on 341 that were just nothing there, trees. You're in the middle of nowhere, Georgia. Uh, for those you're not familiar with it, that's the bottom. That's the southeastern corner of Georgia. Um, so, why did I title "Sometimes Life Doesn't Go Your Way"? Why is the show titled that? Everything I planned, um, kind of went haywire on this trip, which is you can either get about going on with it, or you can count it as a failure and quit. And really, I had all those thoughts. Yes, Steven Strait. If you guys win your first game, you get us. If we win our Alabama's the overall #1 seed in the tournament for the first time ever. I told y'all, watch out. We're gonna dominate basketball and football. Right, right. So we've got we don't know who we're playing. We're playing a whatever playing game. Um, and so my plans. So just to see how you get the plans. I plan to do retail arbitrage all the way down there. So go through the country and go through different towns, and not necessarily small towns, but not the big ones. Not Atlanta. Maybe a town that's. I went through Anniston, Alabama. I went through. There's some decent sized towns in Georgia before you get that in the southwestern side. So I did all that, no problem. Had a good day of sourcing. Planned on listening to a book on the way down there. Ended up being on the phone. So that was the first thing that went negative. And it's not really negative if you're spending time talking to people and pouring yourself into people. I don't consider that a negative. So it just was a change of plans. Everything went fine there. I was set up to stay in the truck, no problem. Until I realized, I don't know, it was about 4 o'clock, and I thought to myself, I don't think I brought any blankets. I had made myself some notes on the phone to check before I left, and grab the blankets was not on that list, and I never put them in there. And so, that's not really a big deal. I stopped at a Walmart in Thomaston, Georgia. It's a dry county in Georgia. The city in the dry county. The manager was real nice. He goes, I've already put them back on pallets to go back, but I'll go get you one. What size you want? He said, I think we've got some twins and fulls. I'm like, I'll take a twin. And he comes back. Amy Lee, the pillow was in the suitcase. It came with me. It didn't go that crazy. So the electric blanket, it was on clearance for $13. So that kind of worked out good. They had fleece blankets. I picked up one of them because at the Walmart I stayed at in Perry, I ran in there because I was thinking the way electric blankets work, they heat that one blanket. So if you've got a blanket over them, it keeps the heat in. And it was going to be 45. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go inside and get a fleece. I did not think about the cold air coming up from the bottom of the truck and through the metal truck, and the metal and the air mattress are together. And so I was on the top, I was warm, on the bottom, I was cold. So that made for a long night. And as I'm in the parking lot, and I'm thinking, you know what? I haven't brought the camera out yet. I got on the list was the mount, because a lot of guys do a mount on a backpack. I was going to try that to see how that worked on this trip. And I bought some new batteries. Amazon had them, and they got them to me the next day. And they were in the truck. They were charged up. And the thought crossed my mind. Holy shit! Where's the GoPro? Where's the GoPro? Turns out it's laying right over there, same place it was. And so I realized I did not have the GoPro. So I made some clips of me some hilarious clips of me telling you about all the craziness of the back of the truck. So it's going to be, I'm going to make that video tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get it edited tomorrow. It's going to be like Blair Witch Project, of me just talking to a phone, and all you see is my head, and it's real dark at night. Yeah. So the window shades. So you like the window shades? The parking lot lights at a Walmart. The kid riding up and down the park, zooming up and down with no lights on for 45 minutes. I took great restraint not to just shoot that kid. The light was in my face, and so if you've seen the picture, the only thing I had was, I'm like, you know what? I got the box from the electric blanket. I bet I can stick it in the window. Well, that lasted at 2 o'clock in the morning when it falls and wakes you up because the light shine in your face again. That was fun. So I had to reposition it. So at some point in the middle of the night, there's 2 pieces of cardboard on each window in the truck, and both of them have a pistol holding them up. So they won't fall over anymore. It's a good thing I took 2 of them with me, right? So they could be props. Yeah, so that happened. Next day was supposed to rain till noon. And then, we're going to get some yard sales in before then, and then yard sales from noon to 6. It rained all day, never stopped. I went to 3 yard sales total on Friday. 3. No problem. You got to be. What did I do the day before? I did RA. I just switched to RA. You can do RA in the rain, right? Had a nice day doing RA in the rain, but I was tired. Slept 5 hours in a truck. Woke up 3 or 4 times because I was hot and cold and lights. And about 4 o'clock in the morning, that's when a Walmart truck came in. And you ever hear those guys let off the brakes, and that air brake goes, Well, right outside your window when you're asleep, that's a good one. That's a good one. So at the end of the day, I've walked 14,500 steps. I have walked a lot in and out of stores all over. Had a good time, successful day. I'm exhausted. And I had planned on maybe a truck stop, maybe something that might be a little quieter than a Walmart, because Walmart's open until midnight on Friday nights. In that part of Georgia, there is no truck stops. There is no nothing. So it's 5:30. No, it's 6:30, and I'm sitting here thinking, man, I can be home in 6 hours. I can just say screw all this and be done with it. I can take an Adderall and I can make it home, no problem. I've made enough money that this trip will still be a success, and we'll just write this yard sale off for this year. But phone a friend. I talked to Dave. That's gonna be one. I got some points and stuff to talk about, how to deal with this kind of stuff, and started talking to Dave. And Dave's like, "Man, you done made all the trouble to get down there. Check and see how much hotel rooms are." I'm like, "Man, they've probably ran the hotel rooms up." So I found a hotel for $58, and by the time I could hit the button, the deal had gone on Hotwire. Sorry, this deal is expired. The only other one that was reasonable was a $38 motel. Yeah, it had decent rating, so I took the $38 hotel. And I called Joni and told her I was staying in a $38 hotel. She was not thrilled.
Did you say it was by the hour?
It was a couple steps above the hour, but not much. It was the kind of, they've got you walk in and they've got the overnight where you can pay underneath the glass or whatever, and then they lock the inside room. This guy never unlocks it was 7:00 p.m. and he had the inside locked. When I checked out at 7:15 a.m. the next morning, he still had it locked. I'm like, what are you scared of, that you're not going to let anybody into the little bitty? There's just a little bitty lobby. So no, there was no vibrating beds. Although I have stayed in a hotel that had that. And it was actually an expensive hotel in New Jersey. It was a W hotel.
The one with the bidet?
No, it has. They fancy themselves a couple hotels. Instead of just having the wet bar, they have another section where you can buy all kinds of toys and stuff. They're a big chain. They're in Atlanta. This one was outside of New York. They're in the W chain. So if that fancies you, check into the W. I stayed in a hotel because it was right across from New York City. It was $350 a night, and I got it for like $89. I'm like, and then
that's cheap.
So, the W it was a nice hotel, but it's just a little a little aggressive. So ended up catching up with Albert. Albert, are you in the chat? Met Al at the first class I did. Al's a super nice guy. So I had dinner with Al, relaxed, and then ended up spending all day, me and Al carrying on. Had a wonderful day. Found a lot of stuff. Al found a lot of stuff. Successful day. Didn't find the kind of stuff that I thought I would find, but I found a lot of stuff to sell on Amazon, which to me, it doesn't matter what kind. It's just not what I thought I would find. So I've got 8 points to make with you. Just understand these situations. And number one, you got to accept that things have gone wrong. You got to accept the situation so you can deal with it. If you keep living in denial, and realize that your plan is, and trying to fight so hard to get to your plan, have a secondary goal. No, just the W, not the Westin, just the W hotel. Because that can go a long ways to settling you down. When the rain came, I was going to stay because there was a couple of people who said, especially I think Bama Dad started on the Perry side. By the time I finished doing RA, I was on the other end, 225 miles the other side. I was in Jessup, Georgia, which is one town over from. I was 40 miles from the end. So what, 190 miles? I'd carried on all day. So no big deal. You know, I'll change and do whatever. Um, the next step is just stay in the present moment. You got to practice mindfulness. You know, take time to breathe and think through it. Um, it and if that doesn't case, seek support. You know, don't be afraid to reach out to friends and family. You know, it was of all the voices of reason, it was Dave. Bong hit championships with the voice of reasoning. Because in my past, I have walked away when days like this have happened or whatever. I have just said screw it and left. I have done that in my past, and so I would have missed out on a lot of opportunity that was the next day. Met a couple guys who who maybe be potential suppliers in the future, which could be even better than anything I found at this whole 2 day, whole 3 day deal basically. So you know, if set yourself some new goals. Are your new goals based on your current situation can be bigger and better than what you thought you were going to find. You know, a lot of us, when you go into doing something like going to these long yard sales, you don't have any idea what you're going to find anyway. And so I had no idea I'd catch up with Al. And I was actually leaving the little town of Jessup when Al said, "Hey, I'm here at this place. There's some stuff you might like. You might want to turn around." And I was like 2 miles ahead of him. And I'm like, as soon as I get this cop off my rear because I'm currently speeding in front of him, I'll turn around and come back. So I'll turn around and come back. You know, you also will change your mind on, you know, I'm like, man, I have drugged this trailer all over everywhere. I didn't need this trailer. You know, when I'm going to Ohio on the 127, man, I'm driving the van. To hell with this. The van is so much easier. I got home. The trailer was well over 2/3 full, and I had junk in the back of the truck. The van would have never held all that stuff. So now, after having the day I had, you go, the trailer was the right idea, and it probably needs to go to Ohio, even though it's more difficult to you park. That's how you end up with 14,500 steps. Is every parking lot you're in the very back because you got to have 2 spaces. Yes, you will find a lot of glass and junk on the long side. Absolutely, you will. There's you got to have a different outlet, Bam and Dad, about quite a bit of stuff for the auction. Probably the most interesting find, I did buy a mounted deer head. That was pretty interesting. Anybody else see a mounted deer head? I paid $14 for it. It is going to auction tomorrow. The next thing I would tell you is to stay positive. You know, that is, I've taught you a lot about positivity in the past, and you know, protecting your mental game. You know, it takes a lot of effort to change gears. Hey, Brenda, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that.
There she is.
It takes a lot to the one that Bama Dad, it was on the side of the road. A lady had it. It was probably 30 miles this side of Jessup. We didn't get very far. Whatever Baxley is, Jessup to Baxley is all we did. So it's between Baxley and Jessup. It's amazing what you'll find. You know, the one thing I have done consistently on these long yard sales, especially on Saturdays of the 127, is kind of leave early. You know, all the good stuff is gone, all that thinking. It ended at 6. We stopped at a yard sale at 5:15. It was like a little store in front of it. The stuff out front was just pure junk. I mean, there was headlight bulbs. There was all kinds of broken tools, all kinds of stuff. And I look in this little box on the ground. I see something like a little bluish color. I'm like, that's a freaking Game Boy Advance SP. I'm like, hey, man, how much you want for this? He goes, I ain't got the charger. I feel pretty sure it works. How about $4? That thing had been laying there for at least 2 days. Maybe it just all day that day, because maybe they didn't do it on the. I don't think they did much on the rain on the day before, but all day a Game Boy Advance is worth $100. Almost any video game person can tell you what a Game Boy Advance SP is. The little royal blue, it's folded up. It was $4. And I bought something else there too that was really good there. I'm sitting there thinking, I can't believe that I just picked. Oh, okay, so I wouldn't call it really good. In the same box was a PSP 100. If you know what that is, it's a Sony charger for the PSP. It's worth like $17. I'm like, how much is the charger? He goes, $1. And so I was like, all right, I guess I should have just paid with the $5, and you kept and gave me your one back. He just started laughing. He's a nice guy. So from now on, what will I do? Great effort. I'm gonna have to drag the truck if it's too far away. The 411, I'll drive the van. The 101, which they're both starting in Alabama, I'll drive the van. Probably in Kentucky, I'll drive the van. But getting all the way to Ohio, north of Cincinnati to start, I'll drag the trailer. Just because you gotta, I can't sell anything at the auction. I want to be able to bring it all back. I found some pole saws. I don't know where I'd have put 6 pole saws in the van. I wouldn't be able to buy all 6 of them because somebody I know who might have been drunk this weekend out at a St. Patrick's Day parade, Dan there poked his eye out with one hanging out the back of his truck. But these are brand new pole saw. Yeah, not you. Okay, not you. He denied all but quick. Do y'all see that?
Only time I've ever heard anybody deny something like that is usually was the guilty party.
He posted a picture of himself on Facebook, and you look at him and go, "Damn, Harlan!" You can look at the picture and go, "Harlan's drunk." He's got that drunk look. Harlan's drunk. He's having a good time. So I wouldn't have been able to get some of the stuff I got because I had to make decisions. I picked up 116 of the same board game. You know, a lot of this stuff. Where the hell do you start putting all this stuff? It was a no-brainer with the trailer. It just fit in there. He's drunkish. Okay, drunkish.
That's my word, ish.
And there's quite a bit in the truck because once I did the hotel and know I was going back the next night, I just hit the 2 air and deflated the air mattress. I'm like, it's too much trouble to unlock the trailer every time. So I put a box or 2 boxes in the back of the truck. I'm like, I'll just open the thing. So it's absolutely amazing if you have systems in place to help you along the way and understand. It's amazing, a lot of stuff we talked about last week. You don't give up, a mistake or a change in plans are only negatives if you quit. And that's where I would have lost. If I'd have quit, that's where I'd have lost. If I'd have let the devil on this side instead of the devil on this side tell him when to go home. I bought some stuff and I'm sitting there. I was talking to Dave. I'm like, I sell 2 of these items. It pays for the expensive hotel room. I just sell one item of RA pays for the hotel room. He just started laughing. He goes, "Yeah, that's dumb. Go ahead and hit the button." I'm like, "All right, I've got the hotel." And if especially investing in folks, I had a good time with Albert. We had a lot of fun, and just sitting down talking to him at dinner, and then following him all day. What a good time. I'm telling you, these things when you do. He bought anything he wanted, and I found a lot of stuff I wanted. And all right, I have to go get a dog who just got in the trash. Phoebe's new trick is to pull stuff out of the trash can because she's the bigger of the dogs, and the little one's there to drag them out in the yard and tear them up. Yeah. So, but you've got to, all these things go together. If you've got a positive outlook and you're staying positive and you've got alternate plans and you can stay in a moment and think through and take advantage of the work you've put in. It's amazing how much you can get. It's not always going to turn out like you thought it would or like you hoped it would. It might actually be better. I bought more than I thought I would. And that's the first thing Jacob said when I was telling him this before the show started. Jacob said, a lot of times it turns out even better. And I find that in life to be very, very true. It is the more you plan and put yourself out there and take advantage of and stay positive and adapt to changes, it's amazing that you win so much. Ron, I don't have any idea. I did not keep track of the RA. There was a couple of crazy stores that I bought, stuff that I'd never seen before. Yeah. So Harlan, I listened to a podcast this week, or actually on the way back last night on the way back, in between talking to Dave and driving, and that's one of the keys to. He said one of the keys to making it big is to solve a problem, or the two of his big keys are you solve a problem that needs to be solved and provide a way, or you help others solve their problems. And so it's amazing that you help those ladies do their first estate sale and gave some tips and told them about what some things are worth. The blessings to you came back in return. You got a lot of inventory that you would not have had, and they're going to do more. So I'm sure it's going to pay dividends in the future. Man, You So High drummer. What killer tune? What tune would that be? I ain't drunk. I'm just drinking. All right, I must have missed something.
They were talking about defining drunk.
Oh, defining drunk. But that's a lot of the lessons that I had, and really, leaves me really excited for the next one. I've got to look at the calendar and see when the next one it might be the 411. I know the 301's in the second or third week of June. Big Andy, I probably got to drag him with me. Teach Andy how to do his long yard sales. Well, you can sit in the passenger seat, Andy, and search your phone for porn like you normally do. So does anybody else have any, and from your experiences when things don't go as you're planning, you may change. Anybody else got any tips that something I missed? So Dole said he might do the 301 in June. So the 301, if you guys are not aware, it starts, it kind of mirrors 95 as it goes up, just below Wilson, North Carolina, somewhere in there, and it goes all the way to the state line. I've wanted to do it for the last couple of years. Wilson is about 30 minutes from where I grew up. I spent a lot of time in Kinston, North Carolina. So that was one of the reasons. Mother lived in Rocky Mount, which it goes through. She lived in Rocky Mount for, I think, 5 years. So I spent a lot of time in there. Scott, I did not know that Silicon Valley Bank collapsed or anything about Etsy and their distribution. I didn't know that.
Yes, that bank had a lot of the Silicon Valley stuff, including Etsy and Coinbase and lots of very popular, well-known startups within the last 10 years or so. Went to zero. And the Fed said they're not considering a bailout. They've already decided they're not eligible for any bailout.
Interesting.
That's when they're deciding the winners and the losers, and that's where I have the problem. The biggest problem is they get, they're playing this.
Who decides who's worthy?
Yep. I mean, I say let them all fail. I mean, but you can't decide arbitrarily. That's the way I look at it anyway.
So that means they're not in the club. Then that's basically what that means.
I mean, you would think Silicon Valley would be in the club, but just for whatever reason, there's probably one or more of those companies that they want to go under.
And so they'll sacrifice the rest in order to make sense.
Yep.
Amy Lee says there's now 3 banks in totals.
Yeah, the other 2 weren't so well known, I don't think, if I remember correctly, but I remember seeing there were, SVB was the 3rd one.
So John, the one thing I'll tell you is the one thing podcasts have done, they calm the voices down in your head for sure. Now, when you spend time thinking about, what somebody is presenting, especially if it's a motivational podcast or something you're learning to try to better yourself, it's amazing those voices quiet down, and I really it also puts you in a frame of mind, a much more positive, much more accepting frame of mind. It's when you're howdy Dave.
He's shaking.
Dave's still not there?
Dave's not here.
So the part I left out with Dave is Dave called. I'm like, man, I got like an hour more with the yard, so let me call you back on the ride home. I'm like, all right. So then I called Dave back like an hour later. I'm like, yeah, man, I didn't want to make this call. He's like, why? I'm like, I can tell you, thank you for talking me off the ledge, man. Today's been incredible. When you're tired and delirious, you don't necessarily make the greatest decisions when you're weary. So take that into account too. That's another strength of really, asking somebody else their opinion whenever your judgment is clouded due to you're tired, because you'll make a different decision if you're tired versus, And I went to bed at 9:30 Friday night or Saturday night in the $38 or Friday night in the $38 hotel. I didn't wake up till 7 a.m.
That's awesome.
Didn't wake up at all. I mean, slept like a rock for 9.5 hours. I woke up looking at the phone. I'm like, well, I'll be damned. If you have payments from Etsy coming, you might be waiting a while.
Rockstar had made some sort of comment about that on Facebook. He was getting ready to put a video out, I think either today or probably today or tomorrow.
So have they fixed that going forward, or?
Well, Etsy was one of the banks in SVB, the Silicon Valley Bank.
Chromed out. Yes, I hit them all. So the one thing I found out about I would definitely do that one again, Peaches to Beaches. So a lot of the vendor groups were good. They weren't your typical. There were some of the antique sellers, but a lot of them were just groups of people inside the road, because this was a big 4-lane road. So they kind of gathered in instead of individual ones. There were individual ones in the towns. The thing I would not stop at on the Peaches to Beaches is the official Peaches to Beaches event. Every town had one, and it was like a craft bazaar. I'm like, I'm on keto. I don't need your squeezed lemonade. I don't want funnel cakes. I don't want your little bead bracelet. I don't need a t-shirt. I don't need local made honey, and I'm sure it's fine, but I don't need all this stuff. I'm here. I'm looking for cheap junk. This is it says yard sale. It doesn't say craft fair, bazaar, or any of those things. It says yard sale. So
Were you guys talking about Etsy before? What's going on with them?
Oh, the SVB thing.
Yeah.
So Etsy has a lot of funds, or had a lot of funds in SVB. There were some issues with payouts.
So the government announced they guarantee deposits, but bank and shareholders go to zero. Yeah, that's that FDIC is going. I'm sure they were FDIC insured, so they'll cover. But is that still $250,000, or do they up that?
By statute, it's only $250,000, but it sounds like, according to Haley, is maybe that. I mean, they can make exceptions at any time from the Treasury.
Right. So yeah. So there were other places that they did have porta potties there, and so yeah, I'd never actually used a handicap porta potty before. That was interesting. I'm like, wow, this is a big space. They're upping it to all their deposits. 90% of deposits were over $250. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, most of those had millions in their account because of the way the funds worked.
Because of being on the road and then being busy all day, I've not looked at any news or paid any attention to any of this stuff. It's a good thing Jacob pays attention. Will Amazon become a bank ever? They function as a bank now.
Yeah,
They sure do.
I don't know that
Starbucks, for example. They're basically a bank.
They lend and do everything else that a bank does.
Mm-hmm.
Except they legally steal money. Oh, you violated one of our policies. We had a customer say that this was a fake item. We're suspending your account and keeping your $10 million that we owe you. We will let you know in 90 days whether we're going to give it back to you. You have not successfully in 90 days. You have not successfully filled out a action plan falling on your sword, proving to us that you're going to praise your loyalty and give us your second child. And so therefore we are keeping your $10 million. That's Amazon stealing your money. How are they getting away with this? There's going to be at some point in the future, there's going to be class action lawsuits against Amazon for the amount of inventory, because not giving your inventory back over a competitor saying something like that. They could shut down your business, and the related accounts things too is just dumb. Why are they still suspending accounts for related accounts when they say you can have multiple accounts?
They can have multiple approved accounts. You have to apply for an approved account.
Not anymore. You don't.
You don't have to apply for it anymore.
The main rule is you can't sell the same thing as long as you don't sell the same items. They used to make you apply and justify the reason, but they don't anymore.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of the rule change.
Why, Tom? Because eBay has been so terrible at marketing that their customer base is actually shrinking and dying off. eBay has been so awful in marketing itself, especially to the younger generations, that they have signed their own death warrant to become irrelevant. It's not going to happen today. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But whenever you've missed entire generations of customers, you've signed your own death warrant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was just answering your question. And therefore, you must try some of the new platforms. Amazon being the largest, but there are so many new ones that are just slowly. eBay right now is dying the death of 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, it's like they know they can't redo their system because it was built on old technology and the architecture is too old. But at the same time, if you don't, you can't.
That was a genius that was Bezos, convincing people for 20 years that he needed to majorly reinvest every dime and not turn a profit until he was built this behemoth up that couldn't be stopped. Yes, their answer is to keep raising seller fees. That is correct. Mr. Sadie, according to Rippy Kababi, number 2 is the first loser. Yeah, and that's a high score. That's a high bar if it comes from Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
You have to be approved to sell chlorine on eBay.
Oh. Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I don't know why they would do that. What's the?
Oh,
Probably one of those COVID leftover things.
And one of the other problems with eBay was, so we were out at the reseller event in October, and it was a nice event. I was glad that eBay actually sent some people there. But the problem is, and it's going to be with all these platforms, is you've got so many people who don't understand being a business person, who don't understand selling, who don't understand business models and these kind of things. I stood there and talked to these people, 3 eBay people, and it was like I was speaking Greek to them about selling and about all the different facets of selling. And we expect these people to be the one to make decisions about the platforms and how, what's best for the platforms in the future. Why would you restrict chlorine? As long as it's shipped ground, there's nothing to chlorine. Most chlorine that's was sold on eBay is for pools, and it's in hard plastic cases. It's not a danger.
And most of that's in powder form.
Mm-hmm. Dole said his chemical crap was taken down. They don't sell on eBay. Yep. Customer safe. See, and that's a new term that I've seen a lot with eBay, and the reason they're doing stuff and calling it customer safety, it reminds me of something that we see every day from the imperial federal government going, we understand that, we work for the people, and the people have the right to know everything we do. But for national security reasons, we cannot tell you. That's that blanket reason, we can't tell you that a plane didn't actually hit the Pentagon due to national security reasons, that we blew it up ourselves to cover up the $3 trillion amount of money we couldn't find. We can't tell you that. National security. So that's eBay's. For customer security, you can't sell this because you can't sell this bottle of lotion for customer security. Customer safety.
Yeah.
Are you in the right chat, Brenda? Back.
I'm in the right chat.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Wrong group, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just gonna come up with a oops. Sorry about that.
Oh my god.
Oops, my boo boo. Is that what it is?
But the one thing I would tell you is the same thing I tell you with anything else. If you can't sell chlorine, you can't sell some of that chemical stuff. Move on to what you can sell.
Yeah.
There is still a huge variety of products that are available that we can sell, and focusing on ones that you can't sell just brings you negative, brings you down, puts you in a bad state of mind not to deal with things correctly. So, if you look through and they're not taking any more things, on Amazon, you people just have a naturally go, well, they move on to something else. eBay, you're gonna have to have the same mindset. You're gonna have to just move on to, I wasn't gonna sell chlorine or many pool chemicals on eBay anyway. So, how many of us are? So this is not really, as long as they don't continue to expand this much further.
Yeah, Tina, our local Social Security office still has the plexiglass set up, and everybody has to wear masks, and everybody has to stay 6 feet from the desk. Everything else is like normal. It's like just at the desk. That's the only place it matters.
I got hit on off like 2 years ago.
Did you explain to them the fact that they made up 6 feet and now that matters, that the virus travels way farther than that?
I figured they were too smart to understand what I was saying.
Oh, you said BRB. It came off as something else. Oh, some time ago. I missed the BRB.
The butcher is working on Sunday night? Wow. Wonder if it's the kind of butcher. Well, never mind. I digress.
Mr. Sadie, I'm afraid you're right. It always does start with simple items we don't sell. You just wonder if, since they're doing that with pesticides, if they've been getting some pressure on pesticides. Understand too, if you're on an Amazon seller, you haven't taken the pesticides course in order to sell pesticides, and what actually pesticides mean, that how broadly this can be interpreted. So let's say you're just a regular Joe Schmo and you sell some clothes, and you say that your socks they have an antimicrobial property that helps reduce the microbes in your feet, so your feet don't smell as much. That is covered by the pesticides, and you technically need a pesticide number from the U.S. whoever in order to sell that. Don't ask me how I know. I've actually had items on Amazon taken down, and they were socks.
Well, that sucks.
Harlan said he had to sign in at an estate sale this weekend for COVID, but didn't have to put his phone number down. Told him it was you. They don't check your ID. I'm gonna start writing some other name down if I have to sign in. From now on, every estate sale that wants me to sign on their clipboard, they're gonna look at it and go, "Well, I'll be damned, Santa Claus came to see us."
Put down Dewey, know
him.
Yeah.
Barking Bird, what's up, my man? I hope you made it home faster than I did, Al. I didn't get home last night until, what the hell time was it? It was after midnight.
Oof.
It was raining again. For those of you youngins in the chat and have never hydroplaned, you don't hit the brakes in hydroplaning. You just let off. You don't steer. Yeah, that's what you do. And if you're towing a trailer, you keep it in tow mode so that whenever you take your foot off the gas, the engine brakes and transmission brake for you, and then you pull in the other lane. It was MJ's. He just scribbled it. 2.5 hours. Yeah, it was 7.5 for me. But I did have some deer sausage at at Bucky's on my way home. So yeah, there's that.
And pickles.
And yep, I had some the keto dinner of champions.
Sausage.
Two different things of cheese, some deer sausage, and some pickles. There were a lot of people, Bama Dad, looked like they were hanging around. Hey, Johnny's Swag, thanks for the super sticker. Tina, you're 100% correct. If you can't see the side mirrors of a truck that you're behind, they can't see you either. And for those of you who don't realize, looking at a semi truck, if you're on the passenger side, you're in a huge blind spot for a semi truck. So all these crazy people that pass on the inside around the semi truck don't realize that they are going through a huge blind spot and are taking a unnecessary risk of being shoved off the road or spun around because the truck driver cannot see you. Al said that was better than what he had.
Where'd he go?
So so that begs the question there, Al. What did you have for dinner? If deer sausage and cheese was better, pray tell what you had. But it's just a lot of lessons whenever you're doing anything you're doing in life and business. A lot of them mesh together. You really stay calm, assess the situation, look at your options. If you're tired and delusional, you know, reach out and get someone else's opinion. They might have a better idea than you. A lot of times, if you're tired and not making rational decisions, that's probably a good idea. Your positivity will allow you to make decisions that will take advantage of the situation you're in and move forward and win, and a lot of times do better than you ever thought you would. That's your name? Right. Hey, Craig, what's happening, man?
So when your competitor on eBay decides to steal your primary photo and make it their primary photo for a similar product, i.e. my willows.
Is this the same bastard that got you on Amazon too?
Uh-huh. I'm going to call eBay concierge for that one.
And I'd let him know that the crap that he pulled on Amazon and the shit that he pulled, and then
Yep.
this is not right. He is a direct competitor, has been for years. Oh yeah,
yeah, he won't like me after that. Don't care.
Well, we don't like you anyway, and we put up with you.
Right. Stealing willow pictures.
Can you combine shipments on two shipments on FBM? Yes, you can put in the same. You just have to put in the tracking number, and they will allow you to put in the same tracking number.
Yeah, just mark as shipped. You mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful doing that. I got a strike once for that because I accidentally scanned the wrong one.
What? Oh, you did the wrong,
or typed in the wrong tracking number for the wrong package.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oops.
The hell, eBay will help you.
Concierge will. They're pretty good most of the time. I've only had one issue that couldn't be resolved, and we'll call that because of some company goes by the letters P and G, PG. Yeah, don't use those. Don't sell on that platform.
Yeah. They'll fuck with you.
Yeah,
James,
they could. Several of my
James, so James says you don't own your photos or description on eBay.
No.
So that could be wrong. There are plenty of, you can get plenty of IP complaints and other complaints based on photos from eBay.
I mean, technically, per their policy, yeah, you can take and share anything you want.
But they selectively enforce based on who you are.
You can ask them to stop.
The photos, you're only allowed to reuse photos if it's part of the eBay catalog. You cannot reuse another seller's photos.
You gotta reread that.
Yeah, concierge is a little. At least you have someone who has slightly above the minimum level for rational thought.
Yeah.
So you're starting above. You're not speaking from to David. My name is David from India. You don't get that guy. He is the maker.
That's correct. I was the original seller.
That's what you get with AT&T customer service.
I thought I remember reading that you can use. I remember that you could use everybody's shit on eBay.
Nope.
It's so easy to take your own pictures. It takes you more effort to borrow other people's than you could have just taken it off your camera, off your phone, either one.
James says you can use other people's photos, but you cannot use another seller's photos unless they've changed that within the last year.
Yeah. What I remember is it used to be, which is why you've always just kind of copied somebody's listing, and some people do it real hardcore. They'll just copy your entire listing, But I thought as long as they were like I don't know. I don't remember. I want to go back and reread it.
Yeah, it'd be good to.
Okay, so
because things change.
Okay, so I just Googled it. If you upload text, video, or photos created by someone else to eBay, you must have explicit written permission to use them on eBay from anyone that has rights to that content. If you do not, your item may be removed by the owner of the content through the Vero program. Rule number 1: listing items. If that exact item already lists, a seller must know your images should have never appear on a different. Why are they saying ASIN when this is eBay? This is not.
Are you on the right one? Listing conditions. Images. Yeah, eBay product catalog.
Yeah, you just have to report to the eBay member through the Vero program. You're exactly right. While it has been altered recently to allow for the use of sellers' pics in the catalog, if your photos are not a part of the catalog, another member cannot use your intellectual property without your permission.
Right. The catalog they can, but not.
Correct. And you give eBay permission to use your photos in the catalog. You do give eBay the permission to put them in the catalog.
Yeah. Yeah, the photos are. If you're not using your own photos, you're asking for problems because, especially if you're not selling new items, there's no way in hell I'd ever. If you're selling a used item, each item is going to be individually identifiable and have its own wear patterns and whatever, and so there's that would be insane. You're asking for craziness.
No, I think the way Amy's
All right,
saying it, that's how I remember too.
all right, James, go steal one of my photos from one of my listings, and I'm gonna go through Vero. Let's see what happens. I'll play your game if you want me to. I'll go through Vero with Concierge, and we'll play your game, James. Go steal one of my pictures. I don't care whatever item it is.
Yeah.
It says that the Amy Lee may be added. If the maybe becomes is not, then that's where the problem lies.
Right. Until your photo is in the eBay catalog, no other seller is allowed to use your photo.
Which I don't ever
understand why people would really want to anyway. I mean, there might be some scenarios, in my particular category where photos become rather generic, but the specific photo that they used is most definitely an intent to confuse the customer, thinking it's the same seller.
That's why I always say if you put a toe or something in your pictures, they'll leave you alone. Is the other reason why I don't stress out about it's got to be the most perfect picture. You want it to. I prefer to buy from a seller that I'm getting a picture of the actual item versus I hardly ever buy off stock photos.
Johnny Swag, who says we can't? Do it right now.
It's just this is another part of eBay where they don't take things serious that should be taken. The one thing I would tell you, if you've got a seller that will steal your photo, they will break every other rule. This is just a slippery slope. When you've got a seller that will break the rules and take advantage of others on the platform instead of doing his own work, that is someone that, I don't care how much they sell, that is someone that needs to go away. Because we don't need that kind of person representing us. At the end of the day, you're strong as your weakest link, and you're compared to someone who breaks rules, who gets, at the end of the day, me shipping on eBay, if someone ships it out in a cereal box, they ship out an item that they stole a picture of from someone else, and they ship it in a cereal box, and it doesn't look the same. It's those damned eBay sellers. They don't say, "Oh, the one." They make it all of us. We are all negatively affected, including the platform, and they refuse to understand that if they don't hold a stand, that's where Amazon has it a little bit more serious, where they do hold a standard. If you want to do your shipping, fine. Do FBM all you want to. You will use a new box. They start putting conditions on what you will do. All right, Amy Lee. Picking up a collection of more that has some nice toe picks in the photos. Damn right. Hey, good evening, Brandon. James, you're 100% correct. They are doing a good job on their own, chasing off buyers and sellers. 100%. Delusional picker, because they are worried about you selling chlorine. They're not worried about the buyer not getting their item. They're worried about whether or not you're selling chlorine. Or whether I have charged too high of a price for ass pads due to a customer complaint.
Still have any of those ass pads?
No. For a while they were in CVS. They might still be a few CVSs that have them. But they were the newer, bluer box. Those men's ones have been gone for a long time. So I did find out one new thing about when you're carrying on at yard sales. If you're carrying on yard sales, especially these longer yard sales where you've got other people who are resellers, and you're sitting there because your iPhone, which is, they must have an update to the Amazon app. It's scanning a little better right now than it ever has, but I still had the e-yo-yo with me. And so this lady had some Maidenform and Hanes stuff. So I was sitting there, dee. And she's like, wait a minute. What is that? I'm like, it's a barcode scanner. She's like, shut the front door. What are you talking about, a barcode scanner? I'm like, it's a barcode scanner. It's Bluetooth connected to my phone as a keyboard. When it reads that barcode, it puts it in my Amazon app and shows me what it's worth on Amazon. She says, does it work on eBay? I'm like, yeah. She said, does it work on, if you look up something on Walmart? I'm like, it's a keyboard. It works on any app.
Did we say it 3 times? Ass pad.
Apparently we did.
So that has evidently attracts more attention than you can imagine. A barcode scanner.
I still make sure I take my ring finger scanner from e-yo-yo. Almost on any, if I go out on any sort of sourcing, if it's intentional.
Say ring finger?
Yeah, I want it to slides on my pinky and I just press a button on the side and it scans, and I don't have to like hold it.
That's not a pinky.
Not my pinky, whatever the ring finger, whatever the pointer finger. There we go. Whatever it is.
It's not a pinky ring camera. Yeah. A pinky ring scanner.
Scanner. Ring. No, it's not. It's called a ring something. Ring finger scanner.
You just point at it.
Yeah.
Chew.
Not pinky ring finger.
Not pinky. No.
I wasn't the other one that knows. James knows too.
Thumb scanner.
Thumb scanner, pointer finger. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, Blizzy. She didn't have any idea that it would that you could. Which I don't. Why is this? We are all employees at Walmart. If you go to Walmart, you understand that their registers read barcodes, and you scan barcodes at their registers all the time because we have now been trained to be.
There you go, Dave.
Whoa.
It's got that little yellow button on the side you hit with your thumb.
So what you're saying is you can write and scan and do things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's completely out of your way. You can use your phone like normal.
That's intense.
I just have the wrist strap on my wrist, and I just drop it, let it go. It just sort of hangs around my hand. It doesn't.
Yeah. Probably not worth switching, but if you're going to buy one.
John, I don't know if you're aware or not, but moving trucks leave that crazy shit of Wisconsin every day. Who the hell wants to be up there in all that snow and carrying on? I'm wearing a pullover for 60-degree weather out here because I decided it's cold. I distinctly remember at some point. I distinctly remember Saturday when I was riding with the windows down, thinking the first son of a bitch that complains about the heat gets punched in the mouth. This is awesome. It was like 75 or 76. It was so nice.
So nice.
But it looks like our franchise quarterback. Have they? Has he said he's going yet? I know he's emerged from the darkness, and he hasn't said much about it since this little dark retreat for 4 days or whatever it was. I know the two teams have. I think they've settled on compensation, but I think he still has to agree to it. I was checking ESPN. I didn't see anything. It was so nice, Mr. Sadie. Once all the rain left on Friday, Saturday turned out to be a gorgeous day. Started out a little cool, but came out of the pullover pretty quick. Nice day. Found a lot of stuff. Laughed a lot with Al. Al's a character. And then talked to another character most of the way home.
Who could that be? Keeping you alive, man.
You should be on the phone with Dave when he's making chaffles, and he is shocked that the chaffles are expanding so much that the waffle maker's opening.
I never used the egg beaters before, man. I fluffed up. It came out good.
That was one success. I think I ate too many almonds, but for the most part, I had no issues with keto. I did have issues with cashiers. When you're at Wendy's and you tell them you want a double baconator, she shouldn't ring up the triple. And then you tell her, no, ma'am, I just want the regular old baconator. The double baconator comes with, and that confused her. And so I ended up getting a single.
Compromise.
I didn't realize that if you're in Jessup, Georgia, it's in the middle of nowhere. You had to look at it and go, two. Next time I'll try that.
Is that on 75? Near 75?
No, it's over close to Savannah, near Brunswick. It's about 40 miles from Brunswick.
On the other side.
Closer to 95.
Do you still tell them no bun, or do you just take it off yourself now? Or don't confuse the situation.
I told them no bun. I should have just ordered the
regular way and take it apart. It's easier. Just ask for a fork. They look at you weird, but
No, they've got forks in the dining room. James, I'll take your advice on this one. Just draw it with crayons.
You don't want to see my drawing lack of skills.
Delusional picker. If you think there are tickets left, you are your name. Delusional. They sold out pretty quick.
What is that?
Noble is D. Do you not you must not have listened to the Wednesday morning show about 2 or 3 Wednesdays ago when we went over the comments in a certain group, and one of the comments was, do I have to account for the cost of goods when I calculate profit? No, they're not good at math.
Well, I mean, do you?
Not if you get it free. If you get an item free, you do not have to calculate the cost of goods into it and calculate your profit. But any other time. So, Brandon, did I say that correctly? You are going to Cincinnati. Is that correct? Yay or nay? All right, nice. I look forward to meet you up there. So yeah, I did. I even mentioned it. We mentioned what was it? It was a Sunday night. I think it was a Sunday night show. We told you to buy tickets after the show. They were going fast. I bought tickets after the show. They were sold out the next morning. That's an advantage the hookers have. Yes, they have. So are you going to hookers that have like bring your own lube or that kind of stuff, or are we going to calculate any of that stuff as cost of goods? Ask him. Uncle Putin, what's up, man? Just Sunday evening delirium, entertaining the masses. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of printers. What's going on?
So I bought 2 printers on this. Actually, I bought 3 printers on this trip. I wasn't going to buy any. Folks, you just got to go to yard sales. You got to ask questions. You got to ask simple questions. The lady had a printer, and it was an HP 4503 or 02, one of those. It's one of the ones that sells for about $140, $160 used on Amazon. And so I've been selling a few of those lately. And so I asked the lady, how much is the printer? She looked at me with a straight face and said, well, we left the power cord at home, so if it can still work for you, you can have it for free. Just take it.
Well, all right.
So that's how I got one of the 3 printers.
And it's the cord that every piece of electronic has ever, or one of 2, right?
So the next printer, which I really hoped I had not seen one, but let's see. It's an HP. So I walk into a church was having a sale. They were having cooking outside and sale inside. So I walked inside. I think this is the right number. I don't want to have to walk over out to the trailer and look at the number. It was a large frame printer, and it was $30. I looked it up. I mean, the cheapest one on Amazon is $400, so I bought that one. I know, Harlan. It's hard to get a printer to work without the original power cord. It's like we tell the story every now and then. So Harlan and I were at a yard sale, and so the little hedge trimmers and stuff do okay at the auction. You know, they'll if you can get them for under a couple bucks, which you can find them, the little green Black & Decker ones that you plug the extension cord into. The lady looks right at us and goes, I've looked and looked. I can't find the power cord. You could just have that hedge trimmer if you want it. So now every time we see one of them, whichever the first one of us sees it, I look at the other one and go, it's a damn shame that one doesn't have a power cord.
That's awesome.
Brandon, you obviously don't sell a lot of HP It is a straight up just power cord.
Pretty much every brother and HP both use just a standard. Right?
It's the two prong. Some of the older HPs, but the 45 those 4500 model series are newer, and they use just the regular old, the little round two prong, little round one. That's the same one. They all use the same one. Tommy Boy, I've been FBMing those printers. I'll get one of them for God's sake. All right, come on.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so this one I wasn't gonna. I sworn off printers, but I was at a sale and it was this much.
Whoa.
That's not a 7. That's a 3. It just uses the simple printer right there, the little power cord right there. See it? Boop.
It's round on one side and flat on the other.
This one's round on both.
Oh, round on both?
Yeah, round on both.
I got you.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those. They have like purple ends on them and different colored ends on them to tell you what the ones they are. Yeah. So the ink for one of them came in. I've got ink order for those. So yeah, I think I've got a grand total of like $12 in all those, maybe 13. They're just the basic cables. They're just stacked up right there until I get ink in. Ink came for one, so I'll test one tomorrow. But right now I have like 57 to ship on Amazon plus, I don't know, 4 or 5 on eBay. eBay picked up last weekend and it died as fast as it picked up. It's terrible.
Yeah.
How many on eBay do I have? My guess is 3. I haven't sold anything today. Oh no, I have 6 to ship, and I have 1 unread message from an eBay member. Hi, can I cancel my order? I ordered it by mistake. You didn't order it by mistake. You went through all the trouble to order it, pay for it. You didn't order it by mistake. Instead of 6, I now have 5 to ship on eBay. Okay, so here's a good example of eBay sellers being dumb. This person just asked to cancel. Should I cancel, or should I? They've already bought it. Should I just ship it out to them tomorrow and make them take it, or send it back and do a return? Because if I send it to them, chances are they won't return it. They'll just keep it. They were lying. That's the justification they'll use to send it out.
Cancel. Yeah.
Robin James, I understand. I'm going to cancel it, but how many times you would be scared if I told you how many times I have gotten that people asking me should they cancel and justifying sending it out because they shouldn't have to cancel a sale that's been sold. I'll just send it to them and see if they really want to send it back. I'm not arguing that point, folks. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to cancel here in just a second. But I've heard that over and over, and I've had to talk people off the ledge and like, what are you doing? Just relist it. Be done with it.
Yeah.
Why would you pay for shipping out and then have free returns and pay for it to come back? All because you're mad that they canceled it. What the hell? Not me. If they don't want it, and I'll tell you a story. I still have 6 to send out. You know why? Because that was the one that I saw yesterday, and I canceled it from the app whenever he asked. He opened to cancel. So I still have 6 to ship. I'd already canceled it. Yeah, there are a lot of people that start returns and never follow through. But I'm not gonna make somebody mad if I haven't shipped it and they ask me to cancel it, I will cancel it. You never know when you might need the same thing. You never know when you might be me, who the other day ordered my eBay supplies and forgot to hit apply coupon, and it paid on my debit card, and so I had to have eBay supplies cancel it so I could reorder it. You know, you might be the one that accidentally does something and needs grace.
Yeah.
Always extend grace.
Yeah.
If it's within reason and doesn't negatively affect you, always extend grace. I actually got a return. Well, I got the mail today. I guess it came yesterday, or who knows when Johnny went to the mailbox. Maybe she didn't go Friday either because it was raining. Okay, so can you tell somebody's from Louisiana? How can you tell someone's from Louisiana? They tape the box back with duct tape. Black duct tape. Black duct tape. I didn't mind that return because he didn't open a return through Amazon. He just sent it back. Took it to the post office and paid $6.35 to send it back. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Strange.
But not just duct tape, gorilla duct. Is that what that was, James? I don't know. It looked like black duct tape. I know duct tape makes all different kinds of. I figure they make black since they also make. You can get all the different variations and colors of duct tape these days. No, well, so you're 100% correct. The karma aspect is, and so
Yeah.
yeah. The one thing I try to do is extend grace. You know, treat people like you would expect to be treated. Just because you're not always treated great is not an excuse to change your morals and ethics to don't lower yourself and lower your standards down to someone else just because someone else is a buttwad does not mean that you need to. Working in fast food restaurants for 25 years, I can tell you one of the huge lessons is when someone is up there being irate, being crazy, being an asshole. You know what the worst thing you can do to them? Stand there and be absolutely nice to them. They have no idea how to react. It is so unnerving to watch somebody just being stupid and you just be polite and nice to them, and then they start. You can see that, you know, it going through the head. You know that like this does not compute. They're expecting you to raise to their level of stupidity, and yeah, I just never did this. Just never did that. Yes, it was very thick tape.
You ever seen the extended ones?
No.
So they advertise this is the XL. It's the Essential XL. If you see these out, they're still going for a lot of money because they have a much bigger battery in them. Plus, they have a spotlight in the front of them, that little white dot on the top. I don't guess they make these anymore, but they advertise the battery could last up to a year on a certain amount of usage or activations or something. I forget. But Arlo in general is worth picking up.
All right. I was at a yard sale, estate sale. I can't remember which. This box was sitting there. I was at a church sale, and the top of this black thing had $3. Anybody in the chat pay $3 for it?
It's a DVR of some sort, right?
That's all you get. $3. Anybody buying it besides me? All right, we'll show you why you should buy it. If you were looking closely, you could see that in the picture.
Yep.
Night Owl means it's a camera system of some sorts. This guy sells for 80 to 100. It's the 1 terabyte DVR.
What's on the back? What kind of port's on the back? BNC? Yeah.
BNC and RC.
The remote sells for $29 by itself. There's the remote.
$3.
These guys are all new, not used. They sell for about $45 each. 40 to 45, somewhere in there. So there's 2, 3. All right, we only have 3 of them. These sell for $12 to $15 each. 1, 2. There's 4 of them. There's the power supply for that. I'll even throw them in these cables for free because I don't really care. And I hadn't figured out what this is. I don't think this goes to it.
Huh.
It looks like it could be a camera of some sort, but it doesn't have any connection. It's just plastic, like a dummy camera or something.
Looks like it has a hole there on the side to plug something in.
Yeah.
That's not a hole.
On the side,
Oh.
down, around. What's on the top? Nope, where your fingers are.
Those are screw holes that hold that
No,
plastic.
on the back, near the back. Maybe those are
There you
screw
go.
holes.
Oh, there's a battery cover.
Ah, okay.
Is that on the side?
Okay. Right. I see. There's a battery door.
Yeah.
I don't know. It says, I'll look this up too. It says what it is. But yeah, that was $3. Church sales. You gotta love church sales.
Yeah.
Somebody never used it,
Wait,
donated it.
did you say $3 for the whole box?
$3 for the whole box.
Oh my God.
We got to this estate sale. I mean, this church sale, 2 hours after it opened, still sitting there for $3.
That's funny.
None of the cables have been undone, Charles. I don't think. Now, people. So that here's a good tip for you. If your neighborhood has a Facebook group, always join your neighborhood Facebook group because they like to stick in their curb alerts telling you what they're throwing on the curb.
Yeah, free stuff. Yeah.
Couldn't get home fast enough to pick up 2 bicycles the other day. Like, damn it. But it's amazing what your neighbors will tell you they're sitting on the curb. Did I find Friday or Saturday? Cajun reseller Friday actually sucked for sourcing at the Peaches to Beaches.
But wasn't that more weather related than anything, right?
Cajun, it rained from 8:30 a.m. until probably 6:30 p.m. So it was hit and miss, and there were people bringing stuff out. And after I stepped in mud a couple times, I'm like, you know what? I'm going back to doing RA. Most of the people who had the little pop up tents or the 10 by 10 tents, they had them all the way down and closed over stuff. Normally the first day is better, but because you got a lot of people that still got to work, and but due to the weather.
So it's better for the buyer, you as a buyer, on Friday generally, because there's less buyers out there looking, right? And it's the first day.
Correct. And I did retail arbitrage and did just fine, but it was just
Whoa.
People, what's going on?
Hey, hold on.
What's up, dude?
Oh, not too much. Just sitting here doing Pokemon cards, just average, everyday stuff.
Prepping for Van Massey?
that's the picture he posted. Now doesn't he look good?
What?
The eyes give it away.
He doesn't even look like he's got eyeballs.
What happened?
The sun was shining brightly.
Yeah.
It was bright out.
It was not.
Right.
It was not.
So bright.
It was too bright. Yeah.
What's up, Johnny Swag?
Yeah, so Cajun said he was there Friday. It wasn't a fun day. Most tents were closed. So Bama Dan said did better Thursday and Friday than he did Saturday. I was not there Thursday. Well, it took me all day to get there Thursday. I left here relatively early. I don't know, 7:30ish, and I didn't get to Perry until 9:30 or 10:30. It was right. It was 30 minutes for a Walmart close. So it was 10:30.
Free, it's me. Free is always good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got a computer going to the auction tomorrow.
What's up?
Shout out to Scott Condon for having a power cord. Appreciate that. Computer work. It's going.
See you, Tina.
Hey Gary. And Gary, I do not believe Harlan's excuse that it went straight to the bikini fishing ladies page. He's down with naked old men kayakers.
He didn't want to go to the thing that he sent us. He wanted to go to the other page.
You got your phone trained automatically go to the half naked chicks. Is that what it is?
That's better than a guy on a kayak that don't have any phone.
This is true.
From Barnesville to Perry on Thursday. Yeah, I didn't have to break any password, Scott, or anything. I plugged it in, and by the time I got the monitor turned on, it was already all the way through. The Windows 10 was just sitting there, and there's not even a log on or nothing. It just goes straight up to your homepage. So we're selling that tomorrow. I checked it to make sure there was no naked pictures on it, so I didn't sell it with naked pictures. But other than that, Perry to Hawkinsville on Friday.
When is your next one you're going to do, Scott?
There's one in mid-April. I can't.
close one, or is it?
Where's the 411? The 411 is. Oh damn, that's in October.
What's up, CJ?
When's
It's def-
when's that 127 one? Is that later too?
It's the first weekend in August.
Yeah.
That's usually a pretty good one.
Flee Across Florida is maybe that's the one in April that I'm not going to.
Hey, is there one near Tampa? I wonder.
Not that I'm aware of.
Say we're gonna hang out with Rally Roots and Rockstar.
We don't have to have an excuse. They have yard sales every weekend.
I know.
Unlike us who only have like 3. If you look at the forecast for next week too, it's gonna be cold.
Here?
Yep.
I know. I'm thinking about selling in Nashville. It's probably going to be.
According to this, the high for Saturday, the low, the low Saturday is 34. The high is 50.
This Saturday?
Sunday 26-42. You know, Nashville's another 8 or 10 degrees colder.
Wait, this weekend or next weekend?
This coming.
Oh, it's in 2 weeks.
Oh, it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nashville doesn't even get in. After Friday, Nashville doesn't get into the 50s for like 3 days.
Let's see.
I'm the one that stopped you in the Highlander. Yeah, so everybody, if you're so Idaho Hillbilly Kevin had a good video. It was from this morning. He did not listen to me. Folks, listen to me right now. You are getting older, men. There is no shame in going to a doctor. You need to go to a doctor once a year to have a physical. Forget all this. Oh my God, he might check my colon. He might save your damn life. You need to know if you've got high blood pressure. You need to know if you're diabetic. You need to know what numbers are. You need to know your physical condition. I'm telling you, you do not want to have a stroke. You want me to give you Kevin's phone number? You can have Kevin's phone number, call him and ask him. He'll tell you the same thing now. He didn't go to a doctor for 27 years. He said that today.
Did you really?
Go to the doctor, guys. I go twice a year to get my blood work done.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that difficult. My brother-in-law has had a stroke 8-9 years ago. Can't use the whole left side of his body. He sits in a recliner and watches TV every day. And if he goes or does anything, he can't drive. He can't do anything on his own. He can't use his left arm. If he wants to do anything, he has to carry his left arm or it's in a sling because it doesn't work. You don't want to be that guy. I promise you.
And you can never, you can go to the doctor and be cleared and still have that happen to you, but you don't want to go. You don't want to have all of the signs and not be doing anything about it. And then
you don't want to be in a place where you could have prevented it or delayed it or whatever.
I take 4 pills every day for my blood pressure. I've had a high blood pressure due to my kidneys carried on since 1998. Folks, it ain't the end of the world. I promise you, it ain't the end of the world.
That's kind of what happened to me. I didn't go to the doctor for a while, and then when I did, I found out I was diabetic, or damn near, and what did I need to do to change it? So I changed it, and now it's not a problem anymore. But had I not gone to the doctor at all, like, could have just taken off out of control, and
if you listen to some of the things I have to tell you about reselling, I'm telling you this about your life. You want to be fully functional as long as you can. Life is but a blink of an eye, it'll be gone. You don't want to spend what short time you have here physically or mentally impaired because you didn't do something very simple. It's as simple as that, guys. Please do me a favor. I don't want to hear any more friends and subscribers and people I know via YouTube and reselling bad stuff happen. Preventable stuff. It's just you got to take care of yourself. John, absolutely not one drop. So I had to go to when we lived in Macon, Georgia. So that was 2001 to 2004. I had to went to a nephrologist, a kidney doctor, and they
he's not allowed in after tonight.
And the kidney doctor determined my kidneys make too much, whatever substance it is that controls the restriction of your blood vessels makes too much, and so it restricts my blood pressure, makes the high blood pressure. Therefore, I'm on a beta blocker for the rest of my life. It doesn't matter if I gain weight, lose weight, doesn't change.
Hello, doctor. Did you do garage calls? Hello? Hello?
You guys are messed up.
Where'd you go? Doctor? Don't be mean to Dave. Come on now. Come on.
So John, you're 100% correct, buddy. He said, wife's cousin was 47, died of a heart attack on Friday night. It's not just men. Folks, take care. Take care of yourselves. I promise you. It's not that difficult. Joni is still here because she did a self-check whenever she had pain in her right breast and found the lump herself to find stage 3 breast cancer. If she doesn't find it, it shows up between mammograms, and by the time she'd be gone by now, or struggling very mightily. You got to listen to your body. You got to take care of yourself. If something you think is wrong, don't ignore it. Have somebody check it. It's not that difficult. And if you're not gonna listen that much, have a blood pressure cuff on your own blood pressure cuff. Once a month, take your blood pressure, see where you're at. Make sure that you're not going to have a stroke due to high blood pressure.
Yep.
Remember exactly. You got your stuff loaded up, Scott?
Yeah, I just found a box of cards over there, and I need to somehow set them up so they need to go.
Are you prepping for tomorrow, Carla?
What do you think?
No, next week.
Think again.
2 weeks now? Are we caught up again? We're getting caught up.
Yeah, I'm on.
But it's
27.
Because if you understand Kevin, Idaho Hillbilly he talks a lot. He's very passionate. And now he struggles to get words out. Struggles to get thoughts out. I pray that this gets better. I pray he makes a full recovery. He's one of my favorite people on YouTube. Kevin and Kitty are great people. I like them a lot. You just can't be that person, guys. John, you're 100% correct. A lot of people, the 50s are where people start getting weeded out.
Yeah.
50s and early 60s. You're either gonna check out in your early 50s, or your 50s to your early 60s, or you're gonna make it late in your 70s or 80s. That's where you're in the thin out zone right now. Are you smart enough to take care? Have somebody around here ask you. You have to be hauling up. You didn't drink any Pepsi this weekend, did you? Lay off that Pepsi, boy.
No.
No.
There was. Oh my god!
No.
I gotta figure out how do I break the Coke Zero. So Thursday on the way over there, when I emptied the van Thursday night in the Walmart parking lot in a trash can, I had a Wendy's cup that I had. It was Coke Zero, and then there might have been 8 of the 16.9 ounce empty bottles.
I saw a TikTok today. I almost sent it to you, but I didn't because it was.
That was 9, at least 9 Coke Zeros on Thursday alone.
There was a guy doing a video on the two worst diet drinks out there, and it was Diet Coke and Diet Zero.
Yeah,
was the 2 worst ones. He said he gave all kind of stats. I was like, damn. It's like I'm not going to send it to Scott. He'll get mad at me.
I gotta break the habit.
more water.
The main thing was the aspartame, but then there was some other stuff.
Yeah.
Coke Zero had something in it that was I can't even pronounce.
They all have aspartame.
Yeah, but it was the other things that he was talking about was the.
Yeah, these things are.
Shit, I'm sure this probably has it too. Yeah, it does.
These things are terrible. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm going back to every other drink being a water. I can control that a lot better than when I'm here.
I should have done that Saturday.
Oh yeah, the I Save Your Life plan. Every other drink's a water.
Yeah.
Hey Brett, how are you tonight? Yeah, I gotta get back to drinking more water. I was doing good until I got in the car.
There's some bottled waters in there.
I did. I just didn't drink them.
You just reached around them. That
No,
bottle doesn't feel right.
all the water was on the other side. Couldn't reach it, so I just kept grabbing. And of course, when I refilled the cooler, I refilled it the same way. Man, they are very hard. It's my sole addiction.
Yep.
Sole addiction. Well, except for yard sales.
Yard sale addictions.
Yeah.
I don't think that counts, though. But it was nice having a scanner, so I did use the scanner the whole day Saturday. Can't recommend that e-yo-yo enough. I used it in conjunction with Scout IQ. And y'all were asking me Wednesday, do you have an affiliate link for Scout IQ? Yes. I do now. It's in the description below. The ice drinks I've tried. All right, I'll look for those, John.
Yeah, I think they're the same thing though. They all got the freaking aspartame in them. Even this shit, bottled water, sparkling water, whatever, you know.
No, some of the ones that John's talking about don't. They
ice, I think they do. I drink those too sometimes.
Yeah, but it was very nice. Even though I had the scanner, the problem with using the Amazon app with the scanners, you got to keep touching the screen over and over. It's very nice to just carry your phone around and have Scout IQ open because remember, as long as you got signal, it'll work on anything, and it'll pull up all of Amazon's. It'll give you the buy box on anything. It'll give you their scores on books and media. Yeah, John, I've tried some of the flavored seltzers there.
Very tough.
John, are ice drinks, are they flavored seltzers? Is that what they are? All right, I'll pick up some tomorrow on the way home from the auction. I'll stop by Walmart and grab some. So what do you mean by a yard sale addiction show? So I apologize to everyone that the fact that I did not have my camera while I was down there.
Yeah, what the hell, man?
You don't know how mad I was and how much I beat myself up over.
Oh, I do.
I mean, it was raining. I had the really good camera and the backup camera, but neither one of them was waterproof. Didn't want to take either one of them out to where they would get hurt. Never tried Scout, leave me.
Scout.
I've had Scout IQ for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. It's worked real well. I like the way it does books, so and their score on books. Let's see. Let's look it up and see what it says. Oh, it's from my Exceller tool. How is it cheaper? I thought it was pricing. All right. I don't know if I'll try it or not. So how did Benadryl save your life? Jerry, that does sound good.
Ooh.
That's all the motivation I have for you is beware of your situation and understand that it's amazing. Amazing things can happen if you are very adaptable, maintain a positive outlook, get a second opinion. If you're crazy as hell because you're tired, get a second opinion. Rearrange the goals and move on. It's amazing.
Maintaining a positive outlook is just key.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yep.
I think I talked to you early in the day, Harlan. Early on Friday, I'm like, man, it's raining like crazy, but I'm killing retail arbitrage, so it was no big deal. It was that Friday was a very seamless switch. When you're used to doing retail arbitrage, it was absolutely no problem. Actually had a lot of fun carrying on. I went in a lot of places that Al had been. I was trying to see if I found stuff that he missed. That was fun.
Did he pass the test?
Yeah, I hit one store he hadn't hit, and somehow he another person missed them, and I'm like, I celebrated probably too much.
Oh Lord,
Just a little bit.
Actually, the painkillers, but for a bad. Mine. All right, I'm gonna leave you that Thursday night. I'm going to. I gotta finish get these cards set up so I can get them out of here. and then start editing my crazy video of me in the back of the truck talking to you as I point the phone at me. This is gonna be a crazy different video, so I hope y'all are gonna like it.
Beard in his pajamas.
Oh my god.
Beard don't wear pajamas.
Uh-oh.
Beard banned on YouTube.
Oh my.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna end the video. I'll leave you with that. Resellers gone wild. Roll Tide.
Take it easy.